different planet. But he does have an LA Dodger cap.
Well, see, that was my trick, for me to blend in. I figured I better put on the cap so they don't figure me out.
Without the cap, you might have spurned people to run a little faster away from you.
Exactly. I mean, it was kind of like the over-the-top thing. I held on to it about midway, and then I put it on and did the backwards. And then when I got to Orchard Camp, I turned it around to mean business to run down. So that was my whole metamorphosis with the cap.
I'm going to call Caltech and find out if the beard slowed you down at all.
Actually, no. I think it actually gave me a bit of a wind resistance. My friend Greg told me a bit up there. I really didn't think it was going to give me such, but yeah.
If this gets out, they'll all be wearing beards next year.
I know. Yeah, did you hear them? They said, you and your beard, you and your beard. I was like, oh, wait a second. Oh, you go. Nice one.
Hey, it
You
looks
got
like
me.
And they said congratulations to both of you.
I know.
Well, he does look like a
Yeah.
street person, He's
Yeah.
Did you bum a little change off of anybody?
No, not. Yeah, luckily this year I didn't have to do that.
You didn't? Is this your first, or have you done this before?
Second time. Yeah, second time. So the last year was my first time, and ultimately I fell in love with it because I've been running up in the canyon just to the left of here, and then I came up here last year, and I've been running up here all the time, and now this is kind of like home. So last year I showed up late, and I'm like, Melanie's like, Patrick, oh, there you go, showing up late. I'm like, don't worry, I'll catch him. And sure enough, I caught them all. And so this year it was like, my goal was like, I'm just gonna show up on time. And then I'm like thinking kind of cocky. I'm like, oh, yesterday I was like, I'm gonna finish 45 minutes an hour. And then like at the start line, he was like talking about the winner, like the record time being like a minute, or an hour, 2 minutes or something like that. And I'm just like, I'm like, yeah, okay. Maybe a minute 20 this year, maybe a minute 20 or something like that. But anyway, I was happy to finish in the top 20. I did roll my ankle twice, and I fell down once. So it's par for the course because honestly, I'm always wiping out when I'm running up in the mountains. I'm just like thinking, I'm like down here, I'm like, okay, after they finish the cross line, I'm like, what would be perfect? It's nice that they give us all these accoutrements, but like buckets of ice for us to soak our ankles in.
That's a great idea.
Right? It's like those 3 days of the NFL football camp when you see the pictures of all the football players soaking in the ice tubs. That's what I think they should do for the next round. Yeah.
That's a great
Totally,
idea.
right?
That's a great idea. I really agree with you.
Ultimately, I think I need to go wrap my ankle right now, but I mean, I'll be all right.
So you said you ran in this race last year.
Yeah.
How does it compare from last year to this year?
This year is absolutely amazing. I have to tell you because this weather, it's my favorite. It's like we're just being kissed with the gods up here. Because honestly, when you get up to that other section, it's just like another world because you can't see below and you're just up there in the clouds and the mist. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like since I fell in love with it, like last year, like right around the New Year, I was up here the New Year. And it was similar weather. We were getting all that rain, and it was amazing. I got some great footage, and yeah, I loved it. I was like thinking as I was driving up here, I was like, oh shit, I forgot my rain jacket. But I was like thinking, that's okay, Patrick. You're gonna be quick, and it's all right if you get a little misty. And it's just like, it's perfect. I loved it. It's honestly the best conditions. And he was right. He's like, yeah, I think it's gonna be a fast race today because ultimately, all the racers, I think, I mean, they're not getting bogged down with the heat ultimately, but. Still have to stay hydrated, right?
Absolutely. Now, where are you from?
Ultimately, I'm a Montana boy. Yeah, but my father's a Southern California boy that ultimately wanted to raise cattle and fly fish, so we just visited grandma down here in the summertime. Yeah.
Are you from the Bozeman side or the...
Good call, my good man. East of Bozeman, Yellowstone County, Billings.
Billings. I was going to say Billings or Bozeman.
Right? Yeah, I used to wrestle in Bozeman and ski, but grew up more in Billings.
Wait a minute. You wrestled and skied at the same time? Is that a new sport?
Yeah, no, I tried to mix it up.
So being from Montana, did they have any races like this similar?
Ultimately, yeah, I'm sure they do, but ultimately, I never started doing this until college. I dated a national champion runner, and she'd say, Patrick, we're not jogging today, we're running. And so that's when I started competing, honestly. And then I was a big wrestler and a football player, and I would run to lose weight and to stay in shape. And of course, I would run in the mountains in Montana. But I went to the University of North Dakota, and it's flat. And so I just ran. We would run like phone lines, because every like fourth phone line or phone pole is like a mile. So that's how you would judge miles out in the woods or out in the farm country, so to speak. But yeah, man, being out here in Southern California, it's home, so to speak, because now I have these mountains to run, and I love it. It's a bit of a lion,
You need, there's a song from years ago by a British group called "Catch Me If You Can."
Yeah.
Was her song for you?
I don't know. It should have been, right? It should have been, because I was long gone. Long gone now, though, right?
No, but you kept the running.
Yeah, kept the running. Exactly. You always usually try to keep the good, right? Yeah, exactly. You know, send out the rest. That's what we do with the people.
Steve, I'm thinking face of the race. What do you think? I think Patrick has got to be the face of the race.
Yeah.
Be memorable for years to come.
Yes.
I'm not gonna forget
Yeah, we'll
this.
definitely be back. We'll be back. Much love.
It would take me 40 years to grow this. It
Yeah,
would
right.
never happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, what a joy meeting you.
Oh,
guys.
pleasure. It's a
Hope
pleasure.
to see you next year.
I'll be back. I'll be back, you guys.
All right.
It's a
thank
pleasure
you.
to meet you,
Thank
Rich.
you so much.
All right. Cheers. Cheers, guys.